Caitanya Bhagavata Adi Leela Chapter 1, Text 21, December 4th, 2013. Panchaskandere Bhagavat Gata Sarva Vaishnavera Vandya Balaram Gata. The topics in Srimad Bhagavatam, fifth canto, which describe the glories of Lord Balaram as the original Sankarshan. Such topics are glorified by all Vaishnavas. Tanarasa Krita Kata Parama Udhar Vrindavane Gopi Sane Karila Vihar. The narrations of Lord Balaram's Ras Leela pastimes with the gopis in Vrindavan are most exalted. Rasa Krita Kata Vrindavan Gopi Karli Vihar. Commentary, verse 22. Sridhar Swami, he describes Ras Leela as a dance involving many women dancers. Sanatana Goswami describes rasa dance as when many women join hands in a circle and are embraced around the neck by male dancers. It is called a rasa dance. A book entitled Sangeet Sar says, when a male dancer performs while being surrounded by a circle of women dancers moving about, that dance is called Hali Shaka. And there are various tunes and dance steps and gestures. Then it's called the rasa dance. Such dances as the rasa dance do not even take place in the heavenly planets. Vishwanath Chakravarti says that this phrase, rasa krita, refers to a rasa dance in which there is a mixture of ingredients such as dancing, singing, kissing, and embracing. Jiva Goswami describes Balaram's rasa krita. Sometimes Sri Baladev draws Krishna from Dwarka by his mind and presents him before a particular gopi in a secluded place. Therefore he is known as Sankarshan. Karshan means attracting or pulling power, and San means complete. So when Baladev returned to Vrindavan in chapter 65 of the 10th canto, Dashama Skanda, he met with his gopis, his personal group of gopis, and performed rasa dance in his favorite rasa stali at Nandagat, Ramgat, which is quite far from Krishna's rasa stali on the bank of the Yamuna Pulina. But while he was there, he understood that some of the younger gopis who had grown up, they really wanted to dance with Krishna like their elder sisters. So they were very much attached to Krishna, but Krishna had gone to Dwarka and did not return to Vrindavan along with Balaram when he came at this particular time in chapter 65. Knowing that by his power, his Sankarshan Shakti, Sri Krishna Sankarshani, the power of his pure love, Balaram attracted Krishna by his mind. He brought him by his mind, carried him, transported Krishna all the way from Dwarka to be right there exactly in front of that particular gopi at that rasa dance with Balaram, that gopi who had the cherished desire when she was young to grow up and dance with Krishna. And Balaram arranged to fulfill that. So therefore he's called Sankarshan, because he drew Krishna from Dwarka by his mind and offered that gopi in a private, secluded place before Krishna. Duimasa vasanta madhava madhunam halayuda rasakrita kahaye puran. The Puranas describe how Lord Balaram performs his Ras Leela in the 2 months of Madhava and Madhu, which means Chaitra and Vaishak, March and April and May. Se sakala shloke eshuna bhagavate Shri Shuka kahena shune raja parikshite. Now please hear the verses spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam, describing the rasa dance of Balaram. So here in the Caitanya Bhagavat, Vedyas Vrindavandas Thakur, while discussing in his introduction to glorify Nityananda, who is actually the Lord of the Ishtadev of the author of Caitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavandas Thakur. Vrindavandas Thakur is the son of Narayani Devi, who had the fortune to take the prasadam directly from Lord Chaitanya, and she was blessed. So her son was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda. So in this section of his Mangalacharna, beginning his great work, Caitanya Bhagavat, he's glorifying extensively, many verses glorifying his Ishtadev, Lord Nityananda, who is not different from Lord Balaram of Krishna Leela. So to further glorify him, he's borrowing verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam by Shukadev Goswami. Dvomaso chachatvatsin madhum madhavam evacha Rama shapasu bhagavan gopinam ratimavaham. Lord Balaram, the personality of Bhagavan Ram, Balaram, resided in Brajabhumi for Madhu and Madhav. And all those 60 nights he gave the his coward girlfriends, conjugal pleasure. Gopinam ratim avahan. In the verse, the word ratim refers to the original spiritual mood of divine rapture, the mellow of Adi Ras, or conjugal love. And he's referred to as Rama Bhagavan. Rama means someone who's expert in Raman, which means conjugal affairs. So Balaram, the word Balaram means he's very strong. Bala means strong. Balaram is very strong and powerful, has great prowess in Ramanam and conjugal affairs. He is Rama or Balaram because he's very expert in various types of conjugal pastimes. This is the meaning of the word Rama in Kama Shastras. Balaram remained actually in Vrindavan for more than 2 months because the gopis were greatly afflicted by feelings of separation. And another two, because they had so much mood of separation, and also because Balaram is most merciful and he gives happiness to everyone. This is the statement of Sanatana Goswami in his commentary. Balaram's gopis, although there's no difference between Krishna's gopis and Balaram's gopis, they're both gopis, but they're different groups. Balaram's gopis are different than Krishna's. Baladev, during those 2 months, he expertly pacified Krishna's beloved gopis. And then Baladev went to those gopis in whose presence he was once previously teased by Krishna. In other words, once Krishna and Balaram were together previously in Braj and Vrindavan, and they met a group of gopis, Balaram's gopis. So then Krishna jested with his elder brother. He said, Daoji, just see these gopis standing before you. I think they're very desirous of touching your broad chest, and they want to feel the embrace of your two powerful arms. So Krishna was joking with his brother at that time, and apparently Balaram did not actually touch those gopis, but he did at this time when he returned to Vrindavan. Vishwanath says that the conjugal affairs of the gopis mentioned in this verse in relation to Balaram's returning to Vrindavan for 2 months in chapter 65 of the 10th canto, those gopis' conjugal affairs, those were with those gopis who had either not taken birth when Krishna enjoyed his Rasa Leela before, when he was in Vrindavan, or they were too young to take part. So they missed Krishna's Rasa Leela, but when Balaram returned, then they had either taken birth and grown up, or they were already grown up and they danced with him. Purna Chandra Kalamrishte. Purna Chandra Kalamrishte. Purna Chandra Kalamrishte Kamudi Gandhavayuna Yamano Pavane Rame Sevate Stri Ganevrita. In the company of numerous women, Lord Balaram enjoyed in the garden by the Yamuna river. This garden was bathed in the rays of the full moon and caressed by the breezes bearing the fragrance of night-blooming lotuses. In the company of numerous women, Lord Balaram enjoyed in the garden by the Yamuna river. And Ramghat, far from the place of Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. Ubhagiyamano Gandharver Vanita Shobhimandale Rame Karenu Yuteshu Mahendro Ivavarana Nedur Dandubayo Vyomni Vivrishu Kusamer Muda Gandharva Muniyo Ramam Tadviryer in Idiretara. As the Gandharvas sang his glories, Lord Balaram enjoyed within the brilliant circle of young women. He appeared just like Indra's elephant, the lordly Airavata, enjoying in the company of his she-elephants. Kettle drums resounded in the sky, Gandharvas rained down flowers, and great sages praised Lord Balaram's heroic deeds. Ye Sri Sangamuni Gane Karina Nindan Tanra Ramera Rase Karina Stavan. Sages condemn the association of women, yet they glorify Lord Balaram's association with the cowherd girls in the rasa dance. Janna rase deve asi pushpa vrishti kare deve jane berinahe Krishna haladhare. The demigods came and showered flowers on Balaram's Rasa Leela at Ramghat and Vrindavan, because they know there is no difference between Krishna and Haladhar, Balaram. Chariveri Gupta Balaramera Charita Amiki Baliva Sava Purane Vedita. Balaram's characteristics are secret, hidden in the Vedas, but they are elaborated in the Puranas. What will I describe? Murkadoshe keha keha nadeki Puran Balarama rasa krida kare apraman. Some foolish people neglect the Puranas and refuse to accept the authenticity of Balaram's rasa dance. Murka dosh, covered by the fault of foolishness. Ekatani dhui bhai gopika samaj karilena rasa krida vrindavana maj. The two brothers Krishna and Dao, Kanai Balai, both performed rasa krida pastimes with their gopis in Vrindavan. It was during the holy festival. They were together at Govardhan in the evening time. It's described in the beginning of the story of killing of Shankachuta. Krishna and Balaram gathered there in the 10th canto to enjoy Holi in the night time and then Rasa Leela afterwards with their separate groups of gopis. Kadachidata Govindo Ramash Jadbhuta Vikrama Vijaratur Veneratriam Madhya Go Rajayoshitam. Once Lord Govinda and Lord Ram, the performers of wonderful feats, were playing Holi in the forest at night with the young girls of Braj. Upagiyamano lalitam strijaner padasoride swalankritanu liptango shagvino virajombaro. Krishna and Balaram wore flower garlands and spotless garments. Their limbs were beautifully decorated and anointed. The gopis sang the glories of Krishna and Balaram in a charming way, bound to them by affection. Nishamukam manayanta vyudito dupatarakam malikagana matali jushtam kumuravayuna. Krishna and Balaram praised the nightfall signaled by the rising of the moon, the appearance of stars, a lotus-scented breeze, and honeybees intoxicated by the fragrance of jasmine flowers. Jagatu sarvabhutanam manashravanamangalam to kalpayanto yogapat swaramandalamurchitam. Krishna and Balaram sang, passing through the entire range of musical sounds simultaneously. Their singing brought great happiness to the ears and minds of all living entities. These, of course, are verses from the Bhagavatam describing this pastime. Krishna and Balaram. Bhagavata Shuni Jara Ramai Nahi Prita Vishnu Vaishnavera Patte Sejana Varjita Bhagavata Jaina Manese Yavanasam Tarashashta Ache Janme Janme Prabhuyam. One who has no love for Balaram after hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam is rejected by both the Lord and his devotees. One who does not accept Srimad Bhagavatam is no better than the Yavana. And Lord Yamaraj punishes him birth after birth. Hebe keha Nam pum sakaveshe nache, bole balarama rasa kon shastriyache. Nowadays some faithless persons challenge, in which scripture is Balaram's Ras Leela described? Kon papi shastra deki leha nahiman, ekarte anyarta karya vakan. Some sinful persons do not accept this pastime of Balaram's rasa dance even if they read about it in the scriptures. They distort the actual meaning of the scriptures into some other meaning. Art anya art karya vakane. Caitanya Chandra Priya Vigraha Balai Tanastane Aparade Mare Sarvatane. Lord Nityananda is the dearmost object of Sri Caitanya Chandra. Anyone who commits an offense at Nitai's lotus feet is vanquished. Murti Vedi Apane Hayena Prabhudas Se Savalakshana Avatare Prakash. Lord Balaram appears in various forms as the servant of the Lord. Balaram manifests these symptoms in his various incarnations. Sakabai Vyanjana Shayanavahan Griha Chatra Vastra Jatta Bhushana Asan. These are 10 different sevas that Lord Balaram renders for the pleasure of Krishna. Lord Balaram serves his younger brother Krishna in 10 different ways. Balaram acts or serves Krishna as his friend Saka, his brother Bhai, a fan, Vyanjan, a carrier, his residence, umbrella, actually it says shine, his bed, his residence, his bed, his carrier, his umbrella, his garments, his ornaments, and his sitting place, asan, bhushan, vastra. Apane sakala rupe sevana apane, jari anugraha karena payase jane. In all these forms, Balaram serves himself. Whoever receives his mercy can understand this truth. Swayam Rup Sri Krishna has personally appeared as Swayam Prakash Sri Baladev to relish spiritual happiness. Nivasashayasana Padukam Shuko Padana Varsha Tapa Varanadibi Sharira Vedes Tavasheshatam Gater Yatochitam Shesha Itirate Jane. O my Lord, when will I satisfy you and Lakshmi, seated on the bed of Ananta? Though he is your transcendental personal expansion, he accepted your service in the form of your residence, bed, sitting place, slippers, garments, pillow, and umbrella. Therefore he is appropriately known by the people as Shesh. Anantaram Shashi Garuda Mahabali Lilaya Valaye Krishna Hanakutuhale. The most powerful Sri Garud, the expansion of Anantadev, enjoys his pastimes as Krishna's carrier. So Garudadev serves Lord Vishnu as his servant, friend, sitting place, flag, and carrier. Ki Brahma Ki Shiva Ki Shanakari Kumar Vyasa Shuka Naradari Bhakta Nama Janra. Lord Balaram, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Shanak, Sanat, Sanatan, Sanandara, Sanat Kumara, Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, and Narad are all pure devotees, eternal servants of the Lord. Savara Pujita Sri Ananta Mahashai Sahasravarana Prabhu Bhakti Rasamai. Lord Sri Ananta is worshipped by all the uncontaminated devotees mentioned above. He has thousands of hoods and is the reservoir of all devotional service. Deva Mahayogi Ishvara Vaishnav Mahimara Antaya Najane Sam. Lord Ananta is the first incarnation of the Lord and the master of all mystic power. At the same time, Lord Ananta is a servant of God, a Vaishnav. Since there is no end to Ananta's glories, no one can understand him fully. Sevana Shanile Veshana Takarala Atma Tantre Jena Mate Vaisena Patal. I've already spoken to you of Anantadev's influential service to the Lord. Now hear how the self-sufficient Ananta exists in the lower planetary systems of Patala. Shri Narada Gosai Tumburu Karisange Se Jasha Gayena Brahma Stane Shloka Vande. Carrying his tumburu, stringed instrument on his shoulders, Narada Muni, the great sage, always glorifies Lord Ananta in Brahma's assembly. Narada Muni has composed many transcendental verses in praise of Lord Ananta. Utpatti Statilaya Hetavo Sakalpa Sadvadya Prakriti Guna Yarikshaya San Yerupam Dhruvam Akritam Yarekamatman Nanarat Kattam Uhaveda Tasya Vartma Mortim Na Puru Kripaya Abhara Sattvam Samshudam Sarasad Idam Vivatti Tatra Yalilam Rega Padar Adade Navadhyam Adatam Swajanam Manams Yudhara Virya Yanama Shrutam Anukirti Yad Akasmad Artova Yadi Patita Pralambanadva Adyama Sapadi Nrinamashesha Manyam Kamshesha Bhagavata Ashriyan Mukshu Mordan Yarpitam Anavat Sahasra Mordno Bhugalam Sagari Surit Mudram Sattvam Anantyaranimita Vikram Asya Vumna Kovirayan Yadigunayat Sahasra Jiva Evam Prabhavo Bhagavan Ananto Durantavi Viryoru Gunana Bhava Mule Rasaya Stitaratma Tantro Lilaya Shamam Stitya Vibharti. These are verses composed by Narada Muni in glorification of Lord Ananta, text 53 of Adi 1, Caitanya Bhagavata. Narada Muni says, by Anantadev's glance, the Supreme Personality of Godhead enables the modes of material nature to act as the causes of universal creation, maintenance, and destruction. The Supreme Soul is unlimited and beginningless, and although He is one, He has manifested Himself in many forms. How can human society understand the ways of the Supreme? The manifestation of subtle and gross matter exists within the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Out of causeless mercy towards His devotees, Ananta Shesh exhibits various forms, which are all transcendental. The Supreme Lord is most liberal, and He possesses all mystic power. To conquer the minds of His devotees and give pleasure to their hearts, Anantadev appears in different incarnations and manifests many pastimes. Even if he be distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. If he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anyone who hears him are freed from sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Shesha? Of whom else could one take shelter? Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate his power. This entire universe, filled with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees, and living entities, is resting like an atom on one of his many thousands of hoods. Is there anyone even with thousands of tongues who can describe Anantashesha's glories? The whole universe is like one atom, one speck of dust on the head of Anantashesha, on one of his heads. Evam prabhavo bhagavanananto duranta viryoru ganana bhava Mulerasaya stita atmatandro yulilaya shamam stitiye vivarti. There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of that powerful Lord Anantadev. Indeed, his prowess is unlimited, though self-sufficient. Anantadev Bhagavan himself is the support of everything. Anantadev resides beneath the lower planetary systems and easily sustains the entire universe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, 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 Jayananta Shesha Bhagavan ki Jai, Sri Caitanya Bhagavata ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.